What's going on, guys? Today we're back inside of Diablo Immortal, taking on some more of your community questions. So thank you. Now let's get into them. As we await the release of Diablo Immortal, I sit back, I try and break down the game as much as I can and share my experiences with you guys from the technical alpha and just from covering this game for nearly 2 years now without it being out. Now, I did do a community question, Ask Me Anything video about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, and people really enjoyed it. People felt that I was answering their questions that they wanted to know, so I figured I would do it again. And it was recommended to me by Red October that we do it in voice format, which is really a cool idea. So what we did was we opened up the floor to you guys, the listeners of this video, of all the videos on my channel, and said if you want to submit to me any questions, you could do so in a voice note from your phone, send it to me over on Discord, and I will answer those questions to the best of my ability. Now, I have done no research. I haven't really dove into any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to be giving you my answers from my experience inside of the game. So let's get into the first question.
Hey Echo, it's Rod October. During the technical alpha, you played on a server full of content creators. For the rest of the mobile community, who were some of these content creators, and what did they bring to the Diablo community?
Now that's Red October, super active in the Discord server, and also just a huge enthusiast waiting for Diablo Immortal. Also, a New York resident like myself, so that's pretty cool. But who were some of the other content creators that were here? Now, as you guys know with the technical alpha, it was given to a handful of content creators, and I mean a handful, not a ton of people. And there were also people that registered or pre-registered in Australia. So the people that I was running into were mostly people from the content creator world. That was the server we were on. Now, you had two groups of people, really. You had the mobile enthusiast group, which I was part of, and you had the Diablo 2/Diablo 3 veterans, which was another group. Now, in the group that I was part of, not that I don't have experience in D3, but nothing like these veterans do, right? In my group, we had Scrappy Academy. He's actually a great friend of mine. He has a YouTube channel as well that focuses on Diablo Immortal and also anticipating the release of this game. Go check him out. He and you've probably seen a lot of footage on my channel of him and I playing together because we played together a lot, literally every single day that we had the technical alpha. So Scrappy Academy was one of the content creators that had this opportunity that made a lot of content for it. Now, there were a handful of content creators from mobile that didn't make any videos on this, or maybe just one or two. One of them was Mobile Gamer. I know he put out one video. OJ, Orange Juice Gaming, Kairos Time. They were content creators from the mobile space that really didn't play much of the game, but they were in there, they were checking it out and seeing what was going on. So we could see stuff from them in the future as well. But some of the community that you guys may know even better as Diablo fans are the veteran Diablo people. Now, I do have a list right here because I didn't really want to miss anybody. But first of all and foremost, we have Nineball. Nineball has been on my channel many times, and he was part of the technical alpha. He's also the big lore guy, leader of the West March Workshop, which is a podcast for Diablo. Nineball was in there. We played together a bit as well. If you don't know who he is, come through my server. He's frequently there, as well as on many of my videos that discuss lore. We had SVR, who's another veteran Diablo 3 player, a huge advocate of the wizard, and he is on podcasts and things of that nature, the Danctuary podcast to be exact. Actually, a bunch of the people that I'm about to mention are on the Danctuary podcast. We have Dreadscythe, who's another just old school Diablo 3 player. He's now making content himself, just a big fan and content creator for Diablo in general, now Diablo Immortal. Mind you, most of these people that I'm mentioning, I had met at BlizzCon 2019 when I was a complete noob to the scene and didn't know anything. I was meeting these people for the first time. Also on this list, we have Leviathan, who I did hang out with at BlizzCon and have spent a lot of time with virtually since then. He is our veteran Demon Hunter player. He grinded the most amount of Paragon out of anyone in the technical alpha. He did frequent one character, got it to like level 200 plus in Paragon, which is pretty impressive himself. Big time D3 player and streamer. We had Bloodshed, who is a daily streamer for Diablo 3. He, over on Twitch, covers Diablo 3 on the daily basis, and he grinded to max every single character in the game and did some Paragon as well. I actually really enjoy his live streams. Super chill guy that has just a love for Diablo. We have Echo Hack, who I was introduced to, and I'm like, we have another Echo in the group, another creator for Diablo 3 and also a blogger. And we have Riker, who is basically one of the most known names in the Diablo world. He also covers Path of Exile, also does some streaming. He's basically like a newsman. He would make such a good news anchor, just how maybe he was even in that field beforehand, I don't even know, but he is a great go-to for any news regarding any action RPG related stuff. So those are some of the bigger names that you may know that I came encounter with and had some conversations with along the way. Let's move on to the next question.
Hey, Echo Wadums here. So my question pertains to guilds, and more specifically, the guild that you and Nemo are collaborating on. And what I'm wondering is how you guys plan on inviting and getting everyone together from your Discord server, or more specifically, the people that y'all want to be in your guild. Will it be something like everyone private messages you in game, or will you guys start collecting BattleNet tags before Diablo Immortal drops? That way you can just mass invite everyone that you want to be in your guild. And the reason I'm asking is because, man, as soon as Diablo Immortal drops, I would love just to be able to hop in and start gaming and leveling with the people I met through your Discord server and all the original gamers out there. So thanks, that's my question, and thanks for all the great content. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, another great question, something that we've been talking about. Actually, he's been on the Discord server like crazy lately, so I always appreciate everyone that comes through and becomes part of the community. So let's talk about guilds really quickly. If you're new here, if this is your first video, you don't know this, but myself and my friend Nemo, we're going to be creating one guild together, a combined guild when Diablo Immortal drops. Why are Nemo and I doing this together? Well, because we play together every single day. He's a very good friend inside and outside of YouTube, so why not do it together? We're eventually going to create branches of our guilds as well. So we're going to have the primary guild, which we are still trying to name, and it's actually going to be helped out by you guys, the community. It's going to be Echo themed. I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but it's going to be Echo themed. And the reason that I got this to be able to happen was Nemo said if he can have a guild called the Scrappy Wizards that consists of 150 wizards, well, then I can name the first guild anything. So I'm taking him up on that. And speaking of Nemo, he and I are about to jump into some Elder Rifts together, which is going to be fun. So, little thing in a nutshell here, guilds are going to consist of 150 players. How are we going to choose who joins our guild? Now, I've been creating community here on YouTube and in my Discord server for about a year and a half. I promised everyone that decides that they want to join the Discord server and be a part of that community, engaging, being active, just really supporting both my content, Nemo's content, and Diablo Immortal, most importantly, you have an open invitation to our Discord server, right? And not to our Discord server, to our guild, of course, the Discord server, which is the pinned comment down below. But how are we gonna do this in a structured way? And we did have, a little hint here of the BattleNet connection. You are gonna be able to play Diablo Immortal connecting it to your BattleNet account, so we could take those IDs and day one, have you guys come on in, join up that way. What we will probably do is create a Google form, share it on Discord in both my server and in Nemo's server, and whoever is on that Google form, you're obviously in the Discord server because that's how you got the form, and that's how you're initially gonna get yourself into the guild. From there, we'll see who's active, who's not. We are going to be 100% an active guild. So if you're a casual player that drops in once a week, you're probably not gonna have a spot in our primary guild for very long. But if you're a daily player, if you grind it like we do, you're gonna be able to be in there because we wanna do things together, especially these guild wars. So you can look forward to a Google Doc. And I think you guys have learned over the time spending it here with me on the channel, I'm very transparent with what I'm doing in my videos, sharing with you in video form. And if you ever have any questions, you could always tag me on Discord, but we will have spots for you. And don't worry, because as soon as we hit the max of 150, we will be creating another guild where we're going to have some leaders that we trust take over and run that guild. That's going to still be part of the guild family. We do this in Clash of Clans. We have probably 8 different clans. They each hold about 50 people, mind you. So in Diablo Immortal, we're going to have even less because of the amount of people that you can have in your guild. And we're going to run it the same way, nice and structured with people in place that we can trust, that are responsible, that can really lead, and we can do events with all of these people. Google form is the best way, but we have some go-to names that we just know, people that we talk to every day. Obviously, those are going to be the first people that we're going to just say, hey, come on down, man. This is the ID. Come on through. If you're one of our regulars, you're going to get that first initial invite. So you could take your screenshots when you're early, brag on the internet, hit up Twitter, Instagram, say, we're one of the first in the Echo Guild, whatever we're going to call it. I don't even know yet, but there's your answer. Let's get into the next question.
Hey Echo, this is Space Muffin from the Void Diablo. My question to you is, if you could add a Paragon tree to Diablo Immortal, what would that look like for you, and what would be like the theme of the Paragon tree? Thank you so much for taking the time to answer my question, and I greatly appreciate you.
What a great question. A question focused on something that I had very little experience with inside of Diablo Immortal, because as you all know, I didn't particularly grind Paragon on any classes. Yes, I did dive a little bit into Paragon with my Barbarian class, but I really spread out my gameplay amongst all four. So this question would best fit if I had Nemo on here for this question, because he did a little bit more Paragon, or most effectively would be Leviathan, having been the Paragon grinder of all of us. But if I could have any Paragon tree, I would love to see a Paragon tree or some system, even if it's not a Paragon tree, some system that would enhance a healing element inside of the game. This is something that there are touches of it in Diablo Immortal, but not anything that's exclusive to healing. And my whole thought is not only having a healer class, because that would be cool, but if you could have this Paragon tree where you could be a monk or a barbarian or some type of a melee class, and you could actually heal through attacking and heal through taking damage and really make yourself an immortal character. This is Diablo Immortal after all. So if we could build up some type of a Paragon system that focuses on healing, we could have some incredible tanks inside of the game. Now, I do need to preface with that being said that I did not dive into very much of the Paragon system. It's something that I'm going to do. I was thinking about, if we get one new class in the next alpha or the next beta, let's say we get another alpha or beta and we have it for 3 weeks. That's enough time for me to focus on one character this time around and really dive deep into the Paragon system so I can get experience with more of the end game. Because what I was trying to get an experience with the first time around was all of those primary characters, really trying to see what it looked like getting a character from 0 to 45. Now, the next version of the technical alpha or of the alpha or beta, call it what they will, it could be up to level 60, which is about an extra 15 to 20 hours. I'm thinking more like 20 to 25 actually, hours of grinding to get to max. And then you have to dive into the Paragon. So getting to Paragon is going to be more difficult when we have all of the stages there. But I do want to get more knowledge about Paragon systems, because as of right now, I'm very limited on it because I didn't have that experience myself. And I think we have one more question. I think it actually also has to do with Paragon. Let's listen in right now to, who was it? Red October.
Hey Echo, it's Red October. So in the technical alpha, we learned that there are 4 Paragon trees so far: Gladiator, Survivor, Treasure Hunter, and Vanquisher. Given that you were able to play with the other classes, do you know if there are any good synergies or compatibilities between these trees and any of the classes?
Red October hit me with that difficult question. And unfortunately for this one, without having a guest on that has that knowledge, I would just be speculating. Now, I would anticipate there's going to be a lot of synergy. The way that there's synergy with skills inside of the game, I would think that you could build up character classes with certain Paragon trees and have those elements, have those skills, and have those tree statistics work well with other characters utilizing different ones. It just seems to be how Diablo works and how Blizzard's trying to build out Diablo Immortal. They've taken a lot of thought. They put a lot of thought into having the skills themselves synergize well together. I would anticipate it being the same with Paragon trees. With that said, Red October, I'm sorry, that is just my thought. There is no truth behind it besides me believing that that would be the case. Unfortunately, you may have even more experience with Paragon, watching some of all the other content than you've watched than I do. So again, these Paragon questions are one that I'm going to need to revisit once we get another one of those beta rounds, so I could dive deep into the Paragon, and then I can consider myself an expert on that topic. 4 questions today. 2 of them I feel I answered really well. The other 2, maybe I just braised the topic a little bit, but we'll have to do it again sometime soon. And in addition to that, I do love these question and answer sessions. We get to kick back, watch some Diablo Immortal, and talk about some things that you guys do not know or want to hear more about, which is cool because sometimes covering a game for months since I've actually played the game can become difficult if you couldn't believe that yourself. It's difficult to create content when there's no game to play to create content. So my brain, it's taxed sometimes, and I appreciate you guys coming on through, helping me out with that. Now, I want to remind you, if you also want to get involved in a question and answer session, we do have the Immortal podcast every other Sunday. Now, we did go on pause this Sunday because it was Easter Sunday. I hope you guys enjoyed it if you celebrate. But Nemo and I should be back this coming Sunday with another episode. I believe we're up to episode 12 of the Immortal podcast, where we are going to talk about whatever it is that happens to come up in discussion, any news that we're seeing between now and then. Hopefully something's announced. We don't know yet, but it would be really cool if it was, because it would make that podcast that much better. We do it over on Twitch and here on the YouTube channel, so you could watch it either way. And then when it's all done, you guys can watch it as a video in case you missed any right here on the channel. It's going to be episode 12 of the Immortal podcast with Nemo, myself, and possibly we'll bring on a guest. I have to reach out to some people. It's been tough because there's not a ton to talk about besides answering your questions. But we're out of here for today. Hope you enjoyed AMA V2. I like the voice notes. It was a good touch. Have a great day, guys, and be good.